this is the unit review. This first page has just a little synopsis of what you kind of need to know how to do. So read through that, and then if you have questions in the homework, refer back to this page and it should help you set it up. All right, so writing each as a fraction and as a percent. So let's get a different color here. Okay, so to write these as a percent, any decimal you multiply by 100. So 0.65 times 100, this will be 65%. And write it as a fraction, percent means out of 100. So this would be 65 out of 100, and then you can reduce that. So 65 divided by 5 is 13, 100 divided by 5 is 20. So there's the fraction, and there's the percent. All right, we'll go to C next because it's right here. 0.0375 times 100. So this will be 3.75%. And then percent means out of 100. So 3.75 out of 100. Now, this is an improper fraction, so we need to move the decimal twice, which means we're going to add in 2 zeros. So this is 375 over 10,000, which we can then reduce. 375 divided by 5 gives us 75. 10,000 divided by 5 is 2,000. Reduce that again. 75 divided by 5, 15. 2,000 divided by 5 is 400. You can divide this by 5 again, and you get 3 over 80. And that's a prime number. So we can check to make sure our percentage is correct. There it is. Okay. 0.69, so 0.0069 times 100 to give us a percent. This is 0.69%. Now that means it's 0.69 out of 100, which is the same as 69 over 10,000, which I don't think you can reduce any farther than that. 0.9825 times 100. This is 98.25%. Now again, percent, you can change that to 98.25 out of 10,000, or sorry, out of 100. We got to move the decimal twice, so we add in 2 zeros. So we really have 98.25 out of 10,000. The other way you can look at it is the 5 is in the 10,000th column, so we know that it's going to be 9825 out of 10,000. Now this, check to make sure your calculation lines up with the original, and we can reduce this. So 9825, let's try dividing by 25 to begin with. Sure, so we can divide the top and the bottom by 25, so we get 393 over 400, and then, I don't know, 393 divide by 3. Okay, 131. Can we divide that by 3? Nope. What else could we divide? 7. 393 divided by 21. I think that's as far as you'll be able to go. Okay, Connor got 21 out of 24 on a science quiz. Rose got 83%. Who did better? So let's check Connor 21 out of 24. Change it to your decimal. Change this to a percent by multiplying by 100. That's 87.5%. So Connor did better. All right, writing each as a fraction and a decimal. Well, fraction 38% means out of 100. So 38 out of 100. I'm sure you can reduce that to something. And as a decimal, 38 divided by 100, 0.38. Okay, writing this as a decimal, 93.75 divided by 100. That's going to be 0.9375. As a fraction, 9375 out of 10,000. And try and reduce that. If you divide each by 25, this one will be 3 0.75. Can we divide that again by 25? So it'd be 15. So let's divide 10,000 divided by 25, and then divide that by 25. So we get 15 out of 16. Don't think we can reduce that anymore. So there's your answer. 0.79%, so 0.79 divided by 100, 0.0079, and that's going to be 79 out of 10,000, because the 9 is in the 10,000th column. 0.2% divided by 100, oops, 0.2 divided by 100, 0.002. This is in the 1,000th column, so this is 2 out of 1,000, which you can reduce to 1 out of 500. Right as a decimal, 1.6, 3.1. These ones you can get by dividing by 100. Okay, so 0.27% divided by 100, 0.0027, 0.9 divided by 100, 0.009. Okay, you get 166% of this. So 1.66 times 26,988, 44,800. We'll just round right to that, because you're not going to have 0.08 of a person. Okie dokie. Collects hockey cards. So this one you could set up a couple different ways. If 5 cards equals 20%, you need to multiply this by 5 to get 100%. So if you multiply this by 5, 25 cards is 100%. The other way you can do it is 5 over x is equal to 20 over 100. So 5 is 20%, x is 100. Cross multiply and divide, so 500 is equal to 20x. Divide 500 by 20. Oops, divide by 20. That cancels out, and x equals 25. So both ways work just fine. Okay, this one I would use a proportion statement. Way's mark on our test was 39. So 39 is 60%. So how many is 100%? So cross multiply. 60x is equal to 3,900. Divide by 60, and x is equal to 65. And you can check 39 divided by 65 should give you 60%. There you go. All right, what's going on here? 2 man-rolls, Amy and Joe, were born in a zoo. They both were 1 kilogram. After 1 month, Amy's mass was 25 greater than her birth mass. Okay, so 25% of 1 kilogram. After month 2, Amy's mass is 20% greater than her mass after month 1. And then we have Joey's situation. So who is bigger after 2 months, I think, is the question. So let's do Amy. So she starts at 1 kilogram, and she adds 25%. So 1.25 times 1. Her next weigh-in is 1.25 kilograms. And then she adds 20% more. So 1.25 times 120%, which is 1.20. So then, times 1.2. So our final weight is 1.5 kilograms. Okay, and then let's do Joe. So he starts at 1 kilogram. After 1 month, he adds 20%. So times this by 1.2, so it'll be 1.2 kilograms. And then he adds 25%, so multiply this number, 1.2, by 125%, and they both end up at 1.5 kilograms. Could you found Amy's mass after month 2 by finding 145% of her birth mass? No, because that would multiply it by the original instead of compounding, which is multiplying on top of multiplication. So let's finish. I'll do 9 and 10 on this video. A ball bounced 64% from a height at which it was dropped. So if it was dropped here, it bounces up to 64% as high. So what would be its starting percentage? 100%. At 64%, it was 72 centimeters. So this one I would set up as a proportion statement. Okay, Okay, so 64% is equal to 72 centimeters. So 100% is equal to how high? So then you can cross multiply. 64x is equal to 7200, divide by 64, and the height would be 112.5 centimeters. Okay, 9 and 10. All right, so we have a bed sheet. That's 210 by 240. Now it shrinks 2%. Well, if it shrunk 2% and it started at 100%, it still has 98% of its dimensions. So if you multiply each of these by 0.98, you'll figure out the new dimensions. So 210 times 0.98, so 205.8 centimeters. 235.2 centimeters. Okay. What is the percent decrease in the area of the sheet? So this is a tricky question because you need to figure out the area of the original, which is length times width, which is 210 times 240. So 210 times 240 gives us 50,400. And then the new area, so the new dimensions, area of the new, length times width, which is 205.8 times 235.2. So 205.8 times 235.2, 48,404 is the new area. So we got to figure out the percent decrease. So we got to figure out the difference between those two numbers. So 5,400 minus 48,404. There's a difference. I got to put it up here because I'm running out of room. There's a difference in 1,996 centimeters, and then you divide that by the original. Okay, so if we divide that by the original area, and then that's our decimal, so we multiply by 100. So then there's a now we'll call it a 4% drop. Okay, so even though each dimension was only shrunk by 2, the area shrinks by 4. So that's what I'll put on this video. I'll do another video for 5.4, 5.5, 6, and 7, and then maybe another one for 8, 9, and 10.